It is astounding that Yoshihiro Togashi could just come out of nowhere, make a post after not making a post for like over half a year, and it gets this amount of interaction. Over 333,000 likes. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen an offer like a mangaka get this much attraction like Togashi does. And what's even crazier is that this man just barely posts at all. He doesn't even like post if you look at this. He doesn't reply to anyone. He comes in, he releases a picture showcasing the number 5 in the corner, a number 6 and 7 in the corner, and he doesn't elaborate, he just leaves. And I think that it's absolutely hilarious. It can be studied with just how he is as an author, but also it goes to show the overall dedication of the manga community and the community of Hunter x Hunter to just rally for any piece of information that Togashi releases over the years. And I think it's honestly, it's like, you can't say Hunter x Hunter's community is small. I mean, when you take a look at just this likes alone, this is not including like the YouTube videos that have already probably been made on this, to the Reddit post, to just other social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram, etc. The fact that there's just so much behind this post that released yesterday, and it's just over this simplistic look here, just confirming that Hunter x Hunter is going to be returning soon, it just shows the overwhelming popularity. As much as people want to say Hunter x Hunter may not be as relevant as it once was, or it's fallen off, etc., that's clearly not the case. Because when you see something like this, it's just astounding and jaw-dropping to just see the popularity, the overwhelming popularity of Hunter x Hunter. And it's crazy to think, because it's like, Hunter x Hunter fans have went through a lot of ups and downs in terms of emotions. I remember when I first got into Hunter x Hunter back in like 2013 for the anime Hunter x Hunter 2011, and I remember catching up around episode 108. Yeah, there was only 108 episodes at the time. That's when I caught up. And then I started watching from there. It was basically right before the raid on the palace where Merom was. And I remember it blew me away. I remember making videos on it, etc. years ago when it was releasing. It was an incredible time period for Hunter x Hunter fans. And then the anime came to a conclusion. And it was emotional, it was sad. And I ventured off to read the manga, realizing there wasn't a whole lot of manga to read. There was like, I think at the time, maybe 10 chapters to read after the content of the anime. And it was crazy to think that, like, at that time period, you know, Togashi was like on a 4-year hiatus thanks to his health, and a lot of people assume maybe Hunter x Hunter might not ever get a conclusion, and obviously since then there's been a lot of on and off years where Togashi comes back maybe for like 10 chapters, and then he's gone for another 2 to 4 years, and then he comes back again for another 10 chapters, so you get the point. It's something that he's done consistently over the years, and despite obviously just the constant hiatuses and just the drought of no content, Togashi has a community that follows him everywhere, and it just shows, and it's honestly insane. And over the years, I've talked about this in separate videos I've made over the years about Togashi, discussing him as an individual, discussing news of hiatuses, discussing the chapters of Hunter x Hunter, etc. I've discussed that Togashi as an individual, he is a reclusive, hermit-like individual, but over the years, it seems like he's mellowed out, and I talked about this in the past, saying that I think one of the big factors of why he started to mellow out and be more transparent when he's working on his series is thanks to the passing of Kentaro, the author of Berserk, and may he rest in peace, a legendary author. And I think that, you know, just the ramifications, the shock to the whole culture of manga itself probably also shocked Togashi, because he was just like, holy crap, so-and-so legendary and all that, just dying, you know, probably affected him greatly more than we know. And then, obviously, thanks to the recent passing of Akira Toriyama earlier last month, you know, it's clear as day that, maybe that also lit a spark as well in Togashi, because it's like, he definitely probably has a lot of respect for Akira, you know. He was in the same magazine as Akira. He was releasing, like, Yu Yu Hakusho around the same time as Dragon Ball. So it's just like, when you think about stuff like that, you know, he has to probably feel very emotional as well to that regard. And I feel like, you know, thanks to what we got, like, last year with Togashi revealing, like, a potential ending for Hunter x Hunter, like, if he's never able to complete the story, this would be the supposed ending. I think it's pretty interesting just to show that Togashi's going the extra layer and the extra mile to say, if I'm not able to complete the story, here's an ending that you could just throw on top of how the series actually concludes. And I think that's pretty fascinating, because it shows that Togashi, in a way, I think that one of his big fundamental things that he's always been as an individual, he writes and draws else for himself. That's how he's always been, I think. But I think over the years, he also realizes the overall social impact that Hunter x Hunter has had on the anime and manga community, and probably in his country as well, in Japan, and he can't really look away from that. And I think that, in his own way, he wants to respect his audience with, like, he doesn't want to leave them hanging if anything happens, which I pray that nothing bad happens. But with the information we got with, like, that supposed ending, like, 8 to 9 months ago, it does speak for itself. But getting into the point, though, it's honestly wild to me that Togashi could just come out of nowhere. He could release a picture like this, and he just gets this much interaction. And the community of Hunter x Hunter really just blows me away. I love to see it. I think everybody loves to see this. And it makes me very happy just to see Togashi never giving up and continuously writing the series, despite his continuous health issues and concerns. I know there's going to be those that constantly say, if he has so many health issues, why doesn't he just have someone else do the art for him? But as I've talked about in the past, I think one of the big fundamental reasons why it's like that, and why he doesn't get help or assistance, etc., is probably a pride thing. Because at this point in time, Togashi is pushed himself for years to draw his series, and he's had like his own integrity for the series. I think that at this point in time, he's so far deep into it, he doesn't want to give the pen away to someone else. And I think in a way, people might call that messed up or, arrogant, prideful, but I think that in a way it's respectable because he doesn't want to bend his beliefs or his will for what he's done all these years, because, it would be like him admitting that he really is going to let his pain, his health concerns win against him. So, I don't know. I respect Togashi for his decisions, which, speaking of his health and the actual changes that are going to be made for Hunter x Hunter's release, let's dive headfirst straight into that one. So one of the big things that we do know that we found out, like, late last year, or actually at the end of 2022, we found out that Hunter x Hunter was no longer going to be serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. And at first glance, this is scary. It's like, why is Hunter x Hunter not in Weekly Shonen Jump? It's literally been in the magazine for decades at this point. And I think that a lot of people look at this as scary, but then when you factor in what happens nowadays, like, manga swapping magazines to either Jump Plus or Jump Squared, like, let's think of what happened to Gintama, let's think of, like, Chainsaw Man, let's think of Black Clover. There's a lot of manga that just shift from the main magazine they came from to another one to have a better schedule. Like, also, let's think about, like, Chojin X with, Shida Sui, and how he releases that series whenever he wants. And in a way, Hunter x Hunter shifting away from a weekly format is probably the best overall for the community, but also for Togashi, because I think one of the big driving factors of why we have so much drought of no Hunter x Hunter content is probably because of the weekly format of just manga in general, and we know how unhealthy it is. We know how bad it is on an author and artist that works in that magazine, so the fact of the matter that, he's getting out of that magazine is a good thing overall. And I think anyone that, thinks it's a bad thing truly just doesn't have the best interest for Togashi in mind. But he's shifting magazines, which that gets into the next point. We don't know exactly what magazine Togashi's in. I believe we have no information exactly where he's going to be releasing his manga. For all we know, it could be digital only, and it could be something similar to Chojin X with Ashita Sui, or maybe it is in Jump Plus, or it might be handled like quarterly or something. We don't really know. But regardless, I do think in the grand scheme of things, him being away from Weekly Shonen Jump might be for the best for him health-wise, but also that old bad blood he has with Shonen Jump in general could probably finally be put to rest because he won't be working with them anymore. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this honestly because, I love to see this type of stuff. I love to see the updates on Togashi because clearly his health is probably getting better to a degree for him to even work on said series. If I had to take an educated guess when we're probably going to get more information on Hunter x Hunter, probably about a month or two from now. But that's about it. So I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoy my video and you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And with that, Chibi out.